Yo, alright. I was just sitting there laughing with God. Actually, God was just laughing at me. Because I had just did a video about, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and all things work out for my good because I love the Lord, and for those who love the Lord, stuff like that. And what God does, man, sometimes God is real. If you don't have a relationship with the Lord, you're missing out. Because every day with me goes like this, right? Okay, so I just did a video talking about, all things work out for those who love the Lord, blah, blah, blah. And I'm in the type of business where my money goes up and down, pretty much. And anytime it gets slow, like I start talking to God, like I be getting the attitude. I be like, I guess me not making no money must be working out for my good, some kind of way. I be getting mad though. Like something will happen. I be like, God, what are you doing? I be mad. I be hot, and that, I don't get violent with my temper, but my temper is quick. Like I'm quick to get frustrated, And so it's like God just be looking at me like, like really? Like what was that video you just did? Cause I be hot. I be sincerely hot. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to save to get a car. We out here wasting time just driving around. And then I remember, I'm like, and I just have to start laughing at myself. I'm like, you ain't funny. I'm like, you ain't even funny, bro. Cause it's like I forgot, and then all of a sudden it's like, I was like, you got me. And then as soon as I come to my senses, my money start picking up, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. So it reminds me of like I be telling people, you gotta pull yourself out of a situation, right? Let me pull over. Let me make this quick. They're trying to give me orders right now. You gotta pull yourself out of a situation. Like you gotta step back and remember, it's God's perfect will, God's permissive will. So don't think, why did this person say this to me? Or why did they do me like that? You gotta step out and be like, why did God allow them to do this? Why did he allow them to say that? And try to learn something from it, right? Because it'll keep you from getting frustrated. Otherwise, you'll be mad at people. You'll want to fight. You don't want to forgive. But if you remember, it's part of God's plan, and somehow it actually is working out for your good. It's never what God is doing to you. It's always something he's doing for you. And that's the frustrating part. Like with me, I'm trying to save up and get a car right now. I'm like, God, why don't you just let me consistently make money? Why do I go through a period where I'm making money, then it's slow, then I'm making money, then it's slow? And I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and get there? And he's teaching me stuff along the way. He's like, just keep going. Just keep going. And what I realize is every day, at the end of the day, I make a certain amount, and it be looking like terrible when it's slow. But I'll get going, and then I'll look at the end of the day, and I'll say, okay, well, at least I made this much. And I didn't make my goal, but I made this much. And then, the next day I might make my goal. And, it's frustrating, though. It's frustrating. So I think about, okay, other people. It's got to be frustrating to them that they can't even find a job. It's got to be frustrating to them that they got a job and it's still not enough. And so the only thing I can do is tell you, you're not alone. As long as you got your relationship with God, he's going to work it out for you. Just keep going, and you got to trust. You have to go with that intent in mind. You got to keep that focus in mind. That put it on God. Talk to him. He wants you to talk to him. I'm like, okay, Lord, it's on you. I'm going to do the best I can, and you got to be willing to deal with whatever happens, come what may. We're going through this together. You and God, me and God and I. You know what I'm saying? And that'll bring you peace. like, okay, I know you with me. So whatever we going through, let's go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we gonna go through it. We're not gonna be afraid of it. We just gonna do it. And whatever happens, we're gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? And it just brings you peace, and God will just come through for you. You know. So don't let yourself get frustrated. Remember, call on those Bible verses to keep you at peace and strengthen you. You know, no weapon formed against you will prosper, and all things will work out. And whatever you're going through, it's gonna somehow work out for your good. So don't let yourself get frustrated when something doesn't go your way. Just know God is gonna bring everything together, and it's gonna all make sense in the end. All right, and it just helps with your mental health to know that God is in it with you. All right, we're going through this together. Peace and love.